On this episode of, damn, I didn't change my shirt.
Your shirt?
Yeah, it's a raggedy shirt. But we good. Bacon collar. Fuck that. I'm not going out like that.
He didn't like his the collar on?
I guess. What'd you say?
Don't come here with no damn blouse on.
Nah, don't put it on. I actually about to put it on this.
We're gonna have a sheer blouse.
I was gonna put it on this muscle shirt. This G-Unit muscle shirt. Got us this long going. And just grab the first thing I see.
Did you listen to G-Unit though?
To what?
G-Unit.
No, he H-Down kid.
Nah,
I know.
He was in my head.
you know of them, like they just kind of came out with a single, like.
See, I'm not aware of that. No.
You're not aware of G-Unit?
Of a new single coming out.
No, I'm saying you said it as if like it wasn't like a whole movement. You said it like it was just like they came out with a single. Like I'm aware of them, but I mean, G-Unit was pretty dominant, right? Or predominant.
Yes.
I'm always open to understanding more about it.
Of G-Unit?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. So there was. Oh, first of all, this is Who Raised You. Welcome back. This is episode. Are we 17? I think this is episode 17. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm Denmark. We got to my left.
We got Daniels.
To my right,
Your boy Trey.
Trigger Trey. We were actually just kind of talking about Mr. Daniels here. He said that he's not very familiar with G-Unit, and I feel like G-Unit was pretty predominant back in the gap. So I guess if there was a group when you were growing up, like a real group, like not just like what I'm saying, don't say nothing crazy, like a real group, what would that group be?
Like hip hop?
Yeah, like what was a group that you remember back in the day that you was really, what I'm saying, that you was repping, that you listened to?
I mean, like Trey was saying earlier, like grew up in Houston, so like Swisher House was big.
What about hundreds of them though?
I mean, like specific like band, like not bands, but like people.
What about to say?
Bands, like UGK.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Pretty close to Port Arthur.
Can't say nothing on that.
UGK was pretty big, but Swisher House just in general, and like all the people that were involved in it, a lot of just guys I listened to growing up, and I still listen to. So in terms of groups, UGK is the first that comes to mind.
So do you think, like as far as like where you were at, most of basically the influence in music was just South? Because I know in Oklahoma, I don't know if we talked about this before, but like we listen to kind of like different coasts. Yeah. But do you feel like if you was riding with your friends and you used to put on like some, what I'm saying, I don't know, back then was y'all like The Game?
The Games are, yeah. I mean, we would listen to that. I think just being from that area, there's a lot of just the culture is emphasized on the music that comes from there. Mm-hmm. So, we would, if you switched it up, it was intentional, because other than that, it was, you kind of stuck to that area.
I mean, Houston has some, y'all got some heavyweights.
Yeah.
Like, I guess there's not really much else that you need to listen to when you got,
straight.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you was from like, I don't know, Alabama,
yeah,
I can kind of see that, you can be a little bit versatile. What about you?
You gotta tell me you listen to the Devin the Dude.
People don't even know who Devin the Dude is. Man.
I don't know.
What?
Or even like, yeah, I think he was a big one as well, but first thing I think of is like, what's that Big X the Plug song? He shouts out the song Texas. Like, we got Devin.
Yeah.
So him, the list goes on, but that, like, culture-wise, it was very focused on that.
Okay. That's what I should have put on that. Dang, that was all right. I missed that opportunity. I put a little snippet on IG. I missed that opportunity. It would have been a nice little. What?
Shoot. I thought about what you was about to ask me, and then I brought up that. But you were about to ask me the same question about the music.
Yeah.
Being in Longview,
Kind of same story.
Yeah. I mean, when I was coming up, yeah, we listened to my pops put us on. I mean, we listened to a lot of older stuff as well. Too Short. Obviously, we a little older than Mr. Daniels, but you know, Too Short. And but as far as Texas, like as far as like really, really listening to you rap for sure, you was gonna listen to a lot of Fat Pat, Hog.
I don't even know that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Big Hog. Go ahead. You don't listen to all them cats. When I moved up here to when I moved down here to Austin, more of Lil Flip, Zero,
Damn.
you know, all them cats committed in there, you know, color changing click. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Boy, you got there. You got a lot of. I didn't even know you knew all that. Color changing click. Is that a real click?
It's Paulo Wild committed there.
But those are actual real. Is that just something that they reference? I'm asking, like, what a real? I never heard of the color
That's
changing
what they
click.
call it.
Never knew that. Okay, you put me on something. I'll tell you the first. You mentioned Too Short, and it's crazy because I feel like even at an early age, I probably shouldn't have been listening to Too Short. You know what I'm saying? But I remember my first song that I could actually, the color changing click. Yeah, music group. Yeah, I never knew that. But yeah, the one song I remember from Too Short, I forget the title of it, but it was like I made up my mind when I was 17. Ain't got no wedding ring. I'll be a player for life.
Yeah.
I was probably like 12 years old, bro. I had no
Oh, we
business.
definitely shouldn't have been listening.
I had no business listening. And you know, it makes me kind of think on the cool though. Do you feel as if that, like, what do you? And I know we're gonna talk about some other things, but like at a young age, like what do you remember? Like what song probably influenced you the most? Because I know for me, I probably shouldn't have been listening in 12 How to Be a Player. It probably messed me up, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like the music that we was listening to back then, I can speak for myself, but I can give y'all the opportunity. Like, what would you feel like? What music you were listening to when you were young? You were like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be listening to that now.
I feel like, well, it's funny, just speaking of Too Short, like, first one I think of is like Shake That Monkey, but it's like, there's a line in there like, you my slut for life. And it's like, I'm like, in my
You felt that.
middle school, and I'm like,
Did you even know what that meant though?
no.
Shake that monkey.
He said no.
But even like, I mentioned UGK earlier, like, international players anthem. The first like two lines in that, I'm like, that does not apply to my current life when I first heard that. Right? I'm like 10 years old.
That's classic.
But I don't think there's any specific song. I think just that culture is just kind of like, you kind of assembled and just like, it brought all walks of life together. And that's a bird hitting the window.
That bird done. I let you know right now, that bird is over with.
I literally saw that shit.
Is he?
Bro, might
Is
be
he sitting there?
I don't see that. But the damn show just hit my window.
That bird.
On the next episode, we'll be at the vet.
So do you? I think that's crazy. I think for me, was it more like you're saying as far as the different, you know, I guess like songs and things like that, like Too Short, like that was like real hardcore rap though. Like that was some
That
stuff.
was hardcore.
That was
The way he used to
Like
say,
blowjob,
he used to say that,
Beep. Yeah. I'm
I'm
like, golly. So I was gonna ask you this. What was the first, I guess back in the gap for us, it might have been a tape. What was the first tape that you bought? Or CD, I don't know. I know you was probably,
definitely was a tape, but
he was definitely a streamer. I can tell you was a streamer.
man, I can't, don't let me lie to you. But I will, for some reason, and I gotta backtrack. My pops did put us on Big Hog and Fat Pat, but my brother Lee was like the main one that was really, really on all of that.
Yeah.
Which would surprise you now that y'all know him.
No, it wouldn't surprise me.
Cowboy hat, boots. And that don't surprise you? Okay. Well, a lot of people are surprised when they hear that, but yeah.
I mean, if you look at him, but when you talk to him,
Oh yeah.
it's kind of,
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Nah,
shout out to Lee.
It would have had. It would.
He's a subscriber, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate
It would have
it.
had to been either a Fat Pat tape or
Like you bought personally?
No, I didn't buy no tapes.
You just stole your music?
What? Yeah, it was. Hey man.
So Sheffield, he lives.
Record.
Oh, that was back in the year.
Yeah.
You don't remember, like, I mean, so when you had your first car, like, what was it, a CD? Like, I'm sure you bought CD.
You know what? I had I had 312s in the trunk. I had 312s in the trunk.
That boy didn't
Yeah,
hear
so-
no words.
No. Shout out to Yellow Fella. He always got me right. But no, I had it was a Lil Jon and East Side Boys.
Like,
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm not mistaken.
that was your. What?
They had because if you're
I'm not
when you
joking.
got a system. Well, when you got a system, you're
That was
looking for
banging.
something that's gonna be banging, and they had
What about
all the
A-Ball MJ?
MJG.
I'm about to say MJK. I don't know what the hell. Remember that? You don't want
No.
drum up.
No, for sure. Pastor Troy. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of them
That you can
knock
really
the
say.
trunk, knock the trunk out there.
Yeah.
For real.
That's true. What was your first one that you bought? Like, was it like you probably LimeWire, Napster? What were you, like a Napster guy?
LimeWire was big. I didn't have it wasn't tapes. It was like iPod was just coming out when I was first to starting to being old enough to make my own decisions like that. So you had LimeWire, but in terms of CDs or tapes,
You weren't buying no tapes. Was you?
nah.
Yeah.
That was a little before me.
So not even CDs
I mean,
before you?
I had CDs, but at
It
that
wasn't like
time,
he was buying.
it was already iPod was coming out.
Yeah.
So
Man, you missed a whole era.
Yeah.
Like going to Sam Goody, what was it, FYE in the mall?
Hey, I got a question. Do you know what a floppy disk is?
I do know what a floppy disk is, a cassette. I know what all that shit
Okay.
is.
No, I just was curious if you
Because
know.
you went to the museum, that's how you know.
Yeah, but I know what they were. It just wasn't up to date at the time where I was buying my own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So you had iPod. MP3 at first, but then iPod soon after that. So you really just did it that way. But even especially Houston, you had dudes selling their mixtapes or handing them out or whatever. So you would listen to shit like that. But in terms of storing music, it was digital at that point.
Do you feel like the culture is just, I feel like there is no really culture surrounding what hip hop and rap was, man. I feel like back in, even when you're mentioning people selling CDs, it was just so much around you when it came to just music. And I'm sure in Houston, you were in the melting pot of everything back then. Because Houston now versus Houston then, I'm sure musically is different. I would imagine, right? As far as what y'all had back in the day versus now, I think that's not even comparable to what music from the South meant. Just on a global representation, man, that is crazy. I feel more blessed to be in a time now that we were able to experience that. Because if now somebody was to talk about what Houston or what down south music sounds like, I don't even know what you would say. You know what I'm saying? We can argue that now. Back then, you couldn't argue nothing. Because you just mentioned a lot of people that I just was damn, yeah, you're right, I can't say nothing. But now I could literally argue what would be the best, versus you could.
Yeah.
And you probably couldn't have no legs to stand on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, that was our little check-in. I think, part of who raised you is, like I said, it's all about inclusivity, music, everything like that. Just kind of growing up, having our own, because I feel like it defines you. I think music really defines you as far as your character. If somebody tell me what they listen to, I kind of have a feel like who they are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tell me your interest in who you listen to, I can already pretty much figure you out. Simple as that. But anything on that? Anything y'all want to reference on the music side before I move on?
Nah.
No? Good? Good. All right. So, the real reason why we're here, because it's one thing that I wanted to talk about, right? And I think, first of all, it's Columbus Day. I don't even know what that means. I'll be honest with you. I just remember when I was growing up, I appreciated Columbo because I was able to get out of school and stuff like that. But as an adult, who is this dude? What did he do? He's a colonizer. Like what was it? Well, I mean, Daniels is probably the most. If we can turn our attention to.
I knew it.
No, I just want to know his views. He might have an idea who was. Did you didn't know him personally?
Yeah, acting like I'm a guy or some shit. Yeah, he's my like.
No, he's acting like that.
No, I've never seen him in my family.
I just knew.
We saw your Instagram, bro.
I just knew where this was going.
It was okay. I'm going to ask the room. I'm going to ask the room. If there was anyone to know more about what the who is
By show of hands.
Yeah. If anybody have on tan shorts, speak up on who you might think that Columbus was.
All right, so I'm just right. Y'all are asking me.
Oh, we want to sing you.
From my understanding, which it used to be federally recognized holiday. Now,
Oh, it's not no more?
I don't believe so because
They found out new information.
well, I don't know. I think because we some people would have had this day off naturally, right? Like other federal holidays, but I think, at least from my understanding, you have a guy, Christopher Columbus, I guess, which I view Christopher Columbus Day. It's also synonymous, not synonymous, but it's associated with recognizing indigenous people. So now the details on what that exactly means, I don't know. But I do know this guy allegedly came over to this body of land that we're currently on and was one of the first, I guess, names when you think about America. And so now how he acquired land or whatever, I think that has some gray area and maybe who was here first and who wasn't.
If I was to interrupt, just to ask you a question. In order for you to find something, wouldn't it mean that no one else would have to be here? Like you are the first to lay claim? Would that be appropriate to say if you was to go out right now and find some land? I'm sure that it would be that no one else has been able to lay claim to that land. You were the first one, right? Like the actual.
Yeah, so that's where I'm kind of confused on the significance of, there's other people here. What did you actually do?
Well, maybe it just wasn't. I mean, I don't know because I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I'm just saying, and y'all can help me out if I'm not correct. But maybe the skin color wasn't really you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
He's probably like, I'm the only white person over here, so it's me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just he didn't really see. Maybe it was some people with some bow and arrows or something. Somebody was out there shooting some buffalo or something.
I'm thinking that
He didn't see them.
Yeah, he didn't see them
because
he probably thought they were animals.
he may have been blind.
Did we know if Christopher Columbus? Do you know? Did they share any stories with you that he might have been blind?
With you.
Let me ask my grandfather. My whole when I think of it, he's probably the guy who started the movement of other people all coming over here.
Yeah, I heard it too. I don't know how true this is, but I heard it was he founded an island somewhere, like in the Bahamas or something like that. And I don't know how we got to him finding an island, to him just being able to say that, the United States of America.
Well, that's where I'm confused on what we're actually celebrating in terms of his name, because it's like I said, I think it's actually, when you look it up now, it's included, associated with indigenous people.
No, it's indigenous people.
But it sounds like, bro, just kind of
it's not Columbus Day. So I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
People Day.
Oh, okay, that's better.
But at least historically, I feel like what we've been taught is he kind of was not very nice to them.
Yeah, that's true.
He kind of came up in their house and took their shit.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so we're just now renaming what this day is.
I don't know
When? But I mean,
And and that's why I'm saying I want to say it's Indigenous People Day
I think you're right.
because it's people in some parts of the country, people celebrate Columbus Day.
Well, they still
Not
hold
all-
strong.
Yeah, but not all states celebrate Columbus Day.
So let me ask you on this, because I'm uneducated on this. Then what is the difference between indigenous and native?
Ooh.
Because native means like, right, you're from here, you're like the original people from here. And then what is the difference there?
Yeah.
Should we look it up?
I
Let's
think
look-
we should.
Let's look it up real quick and see.
Because if we're like indigenous, meaning like you're celebrating inclusivity, but you're also not saying like we're celebrating native people because we kind of kicked them out of their shit.
I think that they don't. Maybe the fact of the truth of it being native is something that is kind of like, because that's kind of self-explanatory. Because native is like, hey, they were here first.
Native Americans.
Yeah. So it's really Little Bigfoot Day. If we was to,
So indigenous is a more specific, neutral term preferred by many to refer to the original people of the land.
So,
because native just sounds a little
Native
too
is a
too truthful.
Because
Broader
you couldn't use native because then
Right.
we'd be celebrating the wrong thing.
Mm.
Indigenous is a fancy word to like make it sound okay.
Mm. Dang. So we opened y'all eyes to something that y'all probably didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? You heard it first on Who Raised You.
But then some of y'all are over there looking at us like, damn, they didn't know that.
That's probably true. You think some people? Nah, I don't think people.
Some. This is the one episode where y'all are going to get me to be a little bit more serious but silly.
Oh hell, we've been waiting on this.
Some
Yeah,
are
that's
looking at you and I like, damn, they didn't know that. Others are looking at it like, it took a white man
Yeah.
to come on there
Dang.
and educate these young black brothers.
So he really just you really did just kind of
Just to put this out there, our opinions and views do not reflect that of our place of employment. And this I ask in your son Jesus Christ's name I pray.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
That was good. That was good. You was part of that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to reiterate that.
Okay.
Any comments, views are my own and nobody's other than my own. It has nothing to do with employment, anything else. I'm simply opening a conversation up. I think that's actually important too, and I don't think it's us not knowing anything. It wasn't called Columbus Day / Indigenous People Holiday until like 2 years ago. So what does that even mean?
Hey, wasn't it something too? When did
He kills me.
what was Juneteenth? Didn't Juneteenth just be recognized as far as like a
Bro,
like a federal?
Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
Look,
I
we
don't know.
celebrate stuff that shouldn't be celebrated and don't celebrate stuff that shouldn't be celebrated. Look.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I agree with you on that. So particularly that one, right? Juneteenth was during the Biden administration recognized federally as a holiday.
Mhm.
So that's within the last 5-6 years,
Yeah.
7, I don't know. But it's always been a day of remembrance.
Mhm.
But at least as a holiday, it gets more attention in that sense.
Yeah.
But it
I still have to work on that day. Though. I'll be in there working.
Well, you're an essential staff.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I have a question for y'all, man. This is something that I've been kind of thinking about. I want to know kind of like y'all's opinion, okay? I know the last episode we were kind of talking about different versions of yourself, and then the expectations of like not only just who you are, but also like in relationships and stuff like that. So with Who Raised You, we talk about current events, right? We talk about different things that obviously happen within the culture. But I like more for me, and I know for you guys, like we like to really get into like some real deep topics, right? So the one topic I have for y'all is becoming the best version of yourself. Like without burning out, but also like not following society's version of what like a man is supposed to be. Okay. So it's kind of like balancing that ambition portion of it. Just how do you be able to view who you are versus what society thinks who we should be? Does that make sense in a little bit?
No, it makes
In a nutshell?
sense.
Okay.
Um,
So this would be my first question. When did y'all first realize growth wasn't about doing more, but doing what matters? Right? Like, when did you first realize, like, actually doing what that matters to you versus just doing more, what a societal view would be?
Good question. Interesting thing about me, right, is the fact that I have always been somebody who wants to do right. Right. I've always been somebody who wants to do.
So you got a good moral compass.
Right. And as I got older and got around different people, right, that starts to shape a lot of us.
Of course.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Starts to shape a lot of us. And you have this, in my case, I started to go towards, I guess, more of a conflict with more of a conflict within myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing what, like you said, what society and what my community was doing,
Yeah.
versus what I was raised to do, right? Or what I feel like was the right thing to do.
Right.
And then that other part started to consume me so much that I started doing other stuff, right?
Yeah.
And still trying to help as much as I help people as much as I can, but I wasn't doing it on the level that I know I could, right? Yeah. And so as I got older, up in my 20s, right, and I left Austin, moved to Kansas, right, and I was away from everybody. That was the moment where I started to realize, like, hey man, you ain't even, are you really being you? Right? And it's not that I was faking or none of that. It's just, this is who I became. And when I left, I started to realize, like, dang, all right, if you want to be a better man, a better person, like, this is not it. This is not the way to go about doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I came to that, when I had that, came to that realization, that's when things turned for me, right? Because I remember coming back home and helping my pops clean out the garage, and he had just had a hard conversation with my little sister, my younger sister. And when he got off the phone with her, I said, this is the moment where it clicked, right? He got off the phone with her, and he was upset. You can tell he was upset. And I just stopped, and I looked at him and I said, she'll get it. She'll figure it out. And he looked at me kind of like, what? And I'm like, she'll figure it out. This is exactly what I had to do. I had to figure it out. I said, now I look back on conversations we had where I was butting heads with my pops and not really agreeing and not really wanting to listen. And then I came to realize, like, man, you know what I was trying to do was trying to get rid of this, be better.
Yeah.
Better than what he was doing, better than how he, you know what I mean? He was just trying to mold me to be a better man, but I just didn't want to hear it because of the route that I wanted to go on.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So once when I left and went to Kansas, things kind of flipped for me, but when I came back is when I kind of actually spoke it, and I started to really, really go in that direction of, like, getting back to what I truly know I'm supposed to be doing. Which ultimately makes me look at myself as a better version of myself and just a better man overall, right?
I got you. Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a deep question. I think, I definitely agree with everything Trey's saying, but I kind of, at least now that I have gotten older, one of the things, and I apply this, to my place of employment, but one of the things I tell myself is, like, your future self is counting on you. And for me, at least, it's like, what does that conversation look like? What is he counting on? What does that mean? What does that look like in your everyday stuff? If you had a conversation with yourself 10 years from now, hey, I had to do this. I had to stop doing this shit. This is what I needed to start doing. We got to get going on this. What does that actually look like? So applying yourself, you know, in terms of being the best person you can be, you know, what does that look like in terms of work, relationships, stuff like that? What are things, you know, like my low 20, like I had a lot of vices that just had to like dissipate over time. And so, you know, really focusing in on that. And I agree with Trey, like, you know, as a younger man, even kid, you know, you don't want to hear it from your parents or whatever. But now it's all like making so much sense. And so that really hits me. And, you know, just the person I'm trying to be, there's certain things that I just have to do, whether, you know, it sucks or not. You know, I'd rather be, you know, you can fill like the blank with the adjective, but I'd rather be tired than whatever.
Yeah.
I'd rather be tired than broke. I'd rather be tired than fat. I'd rather be tired than pissed off all the damn time. I'd rather be tired than trying to figure out relationships. So it's like I'd rather, you know, put in the work and do certain things towards the goals I'm trying to achieve. And I think my future self would thank me for it.
See, this is where it gets, because I can ask one question, right? And then y'all come with so much different like input, and it kind of gets me wanting to talk about that a little bit more. Do you feel, because me personally, I think that it's important for us as men to reflect on what shaped us, the things that motivated us, versus who we were then versus who we are now, right? And I think sometimes that doesn't really get talked about a lot. A lot of people just want to talk about the end result. They don't want to talk about the struggles and the things that got them to the point that they are now. So kind of diving into that a little bit more, I would say, I'm gonna grow up one day. I promise. People, I'm telling you, my mama's still counting on me to grow up. But listen, I would say this: what is, and just as a reference to what both of y'all were saying, what do y'all feel back in the? I feel like back in the day, a lot of it was the grind culture, right? Men had to work. You provide. You work. You provide. Like that's what a man is. You are a worker, right? If you ain't working, you are not a man. Okay. Versus now, do you feel as if that more men are more concerned about their mental health? More men are more concerned about, you know, appropriate boundaries. More men are, you know, concerned about just like who they are and the reflection of, you know, within their family or their community. Because do you think that we have an idea of like I can be more than just a worker, right? I'm more than just somebody who just punch in and punch out. Like that doesn't define me as a man. So I ask you guys, like, what does that mean to you? What is the importance of knowing who you are and how you represent yourself versus just being titled a man who has a job? Like, because back in the day, if you had a job, that's a good man. He had a job. Like, that used to be like the foundation. If you had that, you were good. Like, we're pushing it a little bit more. Where do you think that comes from?
Can I answer this first?
Yes.
So I think, and it pertains to kind of what I was saying earlier, but like we'll dive a little bit more into that. So like work, right? Traditionally, as a man in the past, maybe like for all time, has meant like labor, employment, resources, right?
What are you providing?
Exactly. But at least for me, work is an umbrella term in terms of, you know, I was saying earlier, like talking about like my future self, and work to me now, like obviously employment and providing is part of that, like under that umbrella.
Yeah.
But it also means like being the best person I can at work, being the best person I can in a relationship, being the best person I can in my family. That also means working on my mental. That means working on my physical health. That also means, you know, putting in that time at work, like job. So it's all mutually exclusive to me now. So when I say work, that term can mean everything in terms of what I perceive to be what would make me a successful person, because I think you need all of those things to come full circle to get that final product or that progress that, in work that you're wanting to do. So all of those things, work means a lot more things to me now than it might have 10 years ago.
Yeah, facts.
I agree with that.
Dope, yeah.
I agree with that 100%. You always are, in so many words, you're just always working on something. And that's what's going to help you to be a better man. I do think that are what a man is, right? But I think that, I truly do think that what a man is what do you think a man is, right? What do you think? Everybody's perception of what a man is completely different. May be completely different. It could be completely different. Let me say it like that, right? It could be completely different. And in the family that I grew up in, all the men worked, provided. I'm sure that's the same thing for everybody, right? Worked, provided, clothes, house, food, all that stuff. But it definitely, over time, it definitely has kind of shifted towards just being more about just more than just that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be mentally unstable going to work. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mentally exhausted and going to work and then expecting to hold down this job. So we have to put in the work in order to be mentally stable. We have to put in being mentally stable could look like going to the gym to decompress and just let some stress off, or going on a run, or going
on a
physical run. Not going on a D run, going for a run. Let me say that. Going for a run, or going in, putting yourself in a social situation where you having to socialize with people and just get your mind off of the actual work that you're doing. That the job that you're working, right?
Yeah.
And even in that communication, that socializing with people is still it's still work.
Yeah.
It's still changing you and developing you in such a way where, it can, in such a way to where you're becoming a better person and you're becoming a better man overall. But I think you hit it right on the head, like,
And can I put it this way too? I'll use just like my family, for example. Like, one of the things, like, when it's all said and done, I won't remember as much about, like, say my father, for example. I won't remember how much money he made, or how how well he did in terms of that. I'll remember how good he was to my mom, how good he was to my sister, when he had fucked up days all the time and still came home like nothing ever happened. Still, like, finding a spot mentally to be able to handle, like, because we're only at work 40 hours a week, right? That, like, is the foundation for everything. But it's like, that's one thing I'll remember is how he treated everybody. And so that's, really what it's about. And I think that's a result of getting his mental right. And I think that's also a contributing factor to why he's, very successful. Because he can do shit like that.
Yeah.
And so, it's, those things follow after all that. Once you're right in terms of, your person.
Do y'all feel, first of all, I like both of y'all's point of view with that. What do you all feel within that? What would be considered success? Versus back then, what success looked like for, I guess, a working man, versus what success looks like now. Because what I kind of took away from both of y'all's input was kind of what you said in the beginning. It's more of like, I want to be able to, the people that I have around me, and I think I think we have a good radar of what other men are, right? I would think so. So I don't look a value of a man based off of what he has, right? Or what job title he has and things like that. Like, the things that I look for, like character, you know what I'm saying? Like morals, like what are some things that, if I'm having a conversation with a buddy, like what are some things that I can be able to be like, damn, that's dope, that's good insight, you know what I mean? So I might look at that as being like, hey, you know what? Like, that's success to me doesn't mean just like attributes. It means just like he's at a point in his life where he can just be a stand-up real dude. That's successful to me. Because a lot of men don't have that. You know, a lot of based off of, you know, back in the gap, it used to be more what it was, what we could be able to contribute. You know what I mean? So now, like, what is y'all's vision of what success looks like for the everyday, just general man now? Is it based off of his career? Is it based off him having a good family? Because I think a good family dynamic, that kind of shows who you are. You know what I mean? In a sense, right? I mean,
Yeah.
In a
So
sense, it definitely does. Go ahead.
I mean, I was just gonna say, and I was kind of like referencing it or inferring it earlier. I think you're successful at a job because you are successful in all these other things first.
yeah.
Where you are, you know, if you're spiritual, you know, with God, whatever it is that you're applying yourself towards, your relationships. If you know your physical, you know, health is a goal of yours. It's just all these other goals, and then you maintain and possess a set of skills and mindset that you can apply to a workforce. A job is just an application of the skills you've already committed to and values you've already learned through your life and applied to yourself. The job is just something, you know, an extracurricular of all the things you've already culminated in your life. And you're successful in that, you know, traditionally, whether it's money or, you know, there's professions you're not going to make a lot of money in, but you value yourself and view yourself as purposeful, impactful, right? And we know that very well. And so, you know, I think it all starts with that, and that lays the foundation for identifying the goal or task you may have later on in your life, whether it's professionally, spiritually, familial. Once you have that groundwork set, then the rest is cake.
Have there been a time in y'all's life where some of the things that we're talking about right now, as far as how to be able to identify what a good dude would look like, has there been a time in your life where you had to cut people off because it was things that just didn't align? Like, you just like, that's not who, you know, that's not a person I want to be hanging around and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Once you grew?
Absolutely. Not necessarily because I grew, right? Because as I am evolving, yes, as I am evolving and growing,
This is a custom.
yeah, that is a custom. As I am evolving and growing daily, right? I'm also I'm big on helping people, right? And so I feel, regardless of how much money I make or don't make, or how many cars I have, or this big house and X, Y, and Z, I feel like I've succeeded because of the impact that I have on people, right? I've never been somebody who was driven by money.
Yeah.
Right? I have never been a person that's driven by money. That's just it's not my thing. Do I want money? Yes. Do you need money to do all this stuff and, you know, plenty of a lot of dang near everything?
Yeah.
Yes. You absolutely need money for it, but that's not what drives me. I feel like if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing,
It's gonna come to you.
then it's going to come to me.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
Big facts.
for me, success is definitely more about, for me specifically, just the impact that I'm having on people. Like, if I'm showing up to work and, you know, goofing around, I'm getting my job done, but I'm goofing around and my coworkers are laughing and smiling and not looking down all the time, and the people we work with are, you know, I'm able to get them to chill out or whatever it is, or be in a good mood, change their way of thinking.
That's what you provide.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, look, I'm good.
Yeah.
The money I'll get, I can get that. Like, that's gonna come.
Let me ask you this: is there anything that y'all may have, that you may do on a daily basis that maybe a lot of people don't know, that kind of contributes to like who you are, as far as, you know, just either your mental health or just having that work life, you know, balance of just being like, you know, sometimes you have to just kind of center yourself. Is there anything that you do to kind of help with that? Maybe, I'm guessing the gym would probably be one, right?
The gym for sure.
Okay.
But man, just taking out time for me. I got this little book, right? That was gifted to me, and I legit wake up and write it. And since I got it as a birthday gift. And since I got it, I had a couple weeks where I just was so tied up that I didn't get up and write. But I've been lately. I've been very intentional about getting up and just writing down
You like
something
poetry, too.
positive. Yeah.
So that-
Writing, write down something positive. Rather it be, just stay locked in or
Something.
anything, right? Even literally, first thing I write is whatever I'm thinking about in regards of stay locked in, and then I continue writing whatever it is, whatever I want to accomplish that day or this week is what I write down. And so for me, that helps me when I wake up. I don't turn on the TV. I don't look straight at my phone. I lay there. I think. I take in this piece, and then I get up and get my day rolling, and then I go do it, right?
That's discipline.
Yeah, and it is not easy. It sounds easy. It's not an easy task because a lot of times I gotta go do this. I gotta get dressed. I gotta go brush my teeth and blah blah blah. All this, but I literally try to go straight to that and just start writing, even if it's a few words or even if it's just that first line. Thank God or chase greatness, whatever it is.
Yeah. Something to
I write that down. Something has to be documented every day. And so that's what I do.
But you,
Yeah, I would say pretty similarly to what Trey's saying. I think affirmations are a big thing for me. I think, I try to remind myself every morning that, there's going to be a lot of things I can't control today, but here are some things I can control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my mindset. That's how I'm going to approach other people. It's going to be how I'm perceived by others. It's going to be the effort that I put in. A lot of different things on that, and I tell myself I'm big on, it's a great day to have a great day. There's going to be a lot of shit that happens that, to most people is going to try and throw you off. But I'm already knowing in my head, I'm convincing myself, I already knew this was going to happen. I already knew this was an obstacle I'd have to face. I'm already convinced myself, and I already know coming into this how I'm going to treat it. So there's really nothing that can stop me at this point.
You know what? First of all, I'm convinced that when I went to go open the door for him, he looked in my journal.
oh, okay. I thought you was okay.
No, he looked in my journal.
Because he said the exact same thing.
That's the exact same shit.
So yeah, that's crazy. It is Columbus Day, so you
He's stealing.
said it to his root.
No, but for real, yeah, I mean, I applaud you on that because I promise you, if
If you used to get his diary, he'll tell us the exact same.
not diary.
Oh, my
Diary.
My bad. I don't mean to. I'm not. Yeah, my bad.
Whatever you want to call it, man.
Journal is a long word for me.
Nonetheless, yes, no, applaud you on that because that's exactly what the stuff that I've been writing down lately. Control what you can control, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's.
Yeah, Dan, you got some good insight, man. It's good to have you on the show. You know what I'm saying? On the pod. All right, this is my last question for you guys. This is actually going to be something a little bit different because as I've been listening to both of y'all just kind of give, just some insight on the different questions I asked, I'm going to kind of trip you up just a little bit. All right? One thing the word that I grabbed from you guys is perception. Okay? Now, would you say we kind of know each other? Right? Do you feel like you're pretty comfortable with the people that, with myself, obviously, Daniels, Trey, and so forth? What is, I'm going to ask you first. Yeah, you already know.
No, I'm just hoping. I got a question in mind that I think you're about to ask,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping you're not going to ask that.
What is your perception of me? And then I'm going to give you my
Pretty close.
perception of you. And then
Pretty
we're gonna-
close.
What were you going to ask?
Because I was definitely about to crack a joke.
But we talk about perception, right? Because I think a lot of times we do the inner work and we don't really have, you know what I'm saying, other than, you know, the things that we're able to write down and obviously the things that we're able to do on a daily basis. I mean, if you have like a significant other in your life, you know what I'm saying, who knows if, you know, it's just different, right?
My perception, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. I mean, you
My
do it all the
perception
time.
of my perception of my bro.
Mhm.
My joke that I was about to say is don't expect him to be on time. Never mind.
Oh, you stole mine.
I struggle. That's good. No, I'm okay. We can talk about this. I struggle. You know, can I got my hand raised? Can I? You
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're not receptive to feedback?
I am. No, I'm receptive.
Uh-oh.
Can I give you an outline?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
Time management.
So yes, as people may know, right, and this is probably not news to a lot of people in my life, I do struggle with a little bit of ADHD. All right, okay, I really do. I am a person who you give me 100 things and I'm gonna tell you I can do it in 30 minutes.
That's a stretch. He said he can get it done in 20. 20 max.
And what I would say 30 for you, I'll do it in 20 minutes. Knowing damn well, I know my physical ability will not be able to get that done. But I challenge myself, all right? So
You chasing greatness.
I'm trying to chase greatness. So yes, time management is one of the things I can definitely work on. Okay, that was all right.
No, but aside from that, my perception, you know, you always good in my book. You're a good dude, man.
Appreciate
you got a lot to offer people, insight.
Yeah.
To very intelligent dude, and definitely reliable, trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what make me call. Those are just a couple of things that make me say, you know, oh, that's my bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Without any hesitation, regardless if we on the same page or not. You my dog for sure. So
We be on different pages
Yeah.
a lot of times too. But I like that. I like that though. But
you
now,
my dog.
first of all, I appreciate that, man. That's dope. I like that. Daniels, other than obviously the time management, which everybody knows is my flaw now.
I would agree with Trey. I feel like you are very intelligent, and I think you have always. I respect that you speak your mind on a lot of things.
Gets me in trouble a lot.
Now, I mean, I'm gonna follow it up with there's a time and a place, right? I think I'm definitely not innocent of that either, but you know, there is space for those conversations to be had, which I appreciate, and I think you have a great understanding of being solution driven, and you know, you usually have very productive things to say in terms of whatever task it may be, besides being on time. But and, you know, we'll work on that. But at least you know you acknowledge that, you admit it, and we'll work on that. But that's always been my first two thoughts. And I mean, we've known each other for 4 or 5 years now, and so that's always been a common
Like consistent. I appreciate that.
thought I've had of you.
So just first of all, I appreciate that feedback. Yeah, I am gonna work on being on time. But I think that
He says this every time.
I mean, I'm a work in progress. Maybe I need to get more alarm clocks. I don't know what I need to get in my life. But I will say this. So, yeah, I appreciate that feedback. And I think just to kind of to give y'all a little bit of insight of how I feel about that is the things that y'all were saying, I'm thinking like, yo, these are the same qualities that I see within y'all. You see what I'm saying? And it makes me think, like, I wonder if the work that we do within ourselves and the changes that we want to be able to make, if we're able to see that in other people, and that's what we kind of align with. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're wanting to be a better version of yourself, then why not be around people who wants to be a better version? Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here like, this is for us to be able to have this conversation, for me to ask you that question, it really just kind of relates to me in a way of like, yo, this is the same thing that I see within the people that I rock with. And I wonder why that's the reason why we can be able to come together and actually just have like a, podcast like this where it's just very just natural and flowing, right?
Yeah.
But back on topic, I say my perception of you would be, first of all, I think that you're always wanting something that you kind of mentioned is that you always want to make sure the people around you are good, right? You one of those people that when you come into a room, you know what I'm saying, you kind of, no matter what the situation may be, you bring a little bit of light to that room, you know what I mean? And I look kind of forward to that. It be some days I don't be feeling it, but then at the end of that interaction, right, I'm just like, damn, that was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying, you just kind of need that. And I also think at the end of the day, too, you're going to, however you feel about it, you're gonna ride with the people that you rock with. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I am. You know what I mean? So if I'm a person that just want to be like, because my patience. I don't know if y'all can see this.
Yeah,
I'm talking about that. Yeah, I work on that. I got a lot. I don't know if this is about me, but I feel like I got a lot to work on within this podcast, within this section. Yeah, that's crazy. I got my patience. But I got patience with kids.
Yeah. You just
that's strange. With adults,
it's zero.
Negative zero. Negative zero. But I would say what I've learned from you is just being able to, I guess sometimes I get in a mode of where I'm so just one track minded on something, where a lot of times in our conversation, you give me different avenues and different ways of thinking. And I may not agree with that because I'm like, nah, that's not what nope, this is what it is. And you like, but Denmark, listen, and I'm like, damn, you got to tell me something I don't want to hear. You know what I mean?
That is so funny. Person I went on transport with today, we literally kind of talked about that.
About me?
Yes. I'll tell you more about that, but yes.
Yeah, I'll be like.
And it wasn't a bad day. It was just like, dude, when he is.
Yeah.
When this mind is made up,
hey, watch out.
Boy, hey.
Watch out. I'm telling you right now. And then just to kind of talk about you, Daniels, man, I was kind of wanting you to be a part of this podcast for a minute because,
I say
early. I ain't gonna lie to you, because the conversations that we have, I don't know if you understand, the conversation that we have on a daily basis is like, it can get, no matter what it is, right? It can be about work. It can be about fantasy football, which ain't something I really want to talk about right now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But the things that...
I'm just here.
Yeah, nobody asked you. Yeah, nobody asked you. Yeah. You can tell when somebody's in a winning league. It have an aura. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say, man, is that the conversation that we have, man, and the insight that you're able to give, and just the way that you're able to kind of look at the bigger picture. And another thing that I'm learning from you is that kind of what we're talking about, I be like straight up like, nah, I'm not rocking with it. I'm not doing it. And you just kind of tell me like, well, and you kind of give me the whole picture in the site. And I'm just like, damn, that is right. So I like the fact that it's almost like a balance. You know what I'm saying? So if I come to you with something, you're never going to be a yes man, right? You never, you ain't going to, and you straight up. Like, I think that's the dopest thing is just that just being straight up and just being who you are. We laugh and we joke a lot. Like, I know that we're always going to have a good time, but at the end of the day, you never switch up. You never change. Like, you're going to stay solid. And, like, those are the relationships that I think that are super important. And I have to say, like, even as, you know what I'm saying, like, as a grown man, like, maybe those are some things that we take for granted, just having, like, just real solid people. There's not a lot of people that can say I have multiple solid people in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, that's super dope. Super dope.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that as well. And I'm looking forward to more episodes. So
yeah. You gonna
I, for whatever reason, feel like soon as this camera go off, he gonna be talking shit.
Who, me? Nah, I mean
that's just you.
I ain't gonna talk. I really don't.
I'm not saying in regards of like you don't mean what you're saying. Yeah. You're about to talk. As soon as this camera go off.
Hey, well, being straight up, we do gotta get going.
Yes. All right, cool. Hey, so appreciate y'all. This is Who Raised You. You know what I'm saying? Denmark,
Trey,
Daniels.
All right, be easy.
hold it down. Yo, I thought you threw up a gang sign.
Nah, I don't know no game
That's what you
sign.
said.
We gotta go.
All right, come on, let's run. Well, you can move.
I'm moving.
He talking about we gotta go.
No, he's telling me.
Oh, okay.
Nah, but I got a shit. I still better.
Yeah, shit.
No, fool.
Hey, my business.
Make sure you cut that out.
No, I'm not cutting that out.
Real quick.
Man, you good.